Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning. We are carrying on climbing the rating ladder. We got a win yesterday. Long game. It started in the Scotch. I actually blundered a rook, but I was in such a strong position. I still had enough, even being down an exchange, but 5 pawns up, still went on to win by resignation. So let's do another 15-10. And by the power of coffee, we'll see what we get. 1201. Right, I'm going aggressive. I am going with the Charlick. Because it's fun. Can even pre-move the recapture. At this level, 1200, I'd imagine a lot of people will probably take the second pawn. It's actually much better for white just to develop pieces and protect the pawn. Okay, we have knight out, knight out. And, okay, so this attacks the queen. Now we have a couple of options. We have pawn f6, which comes with tempo. Bishop can't go here. Or we've got knight f6, kind of pinning the knight on the queen, which is maybe less than ideal. However, you see, my queen normally wants to come to e7, and we have to look out for this knight maybe coming here. However, as long as that bishop is there, our queen, if it goes to e7, can also go to e6, because the bishop defends this pawn and defends the fork. So first key question, do we block with the bishop with tempo, or do we block with the knight pinning the knight? I'm going to... Pawn, not bishop. I'm going to play the pawn. Because it's not like it costs me a move. Okay, so now we develop normally, hitting this knight, which is defended by 2 pawns. So white can play e3. Very often you'll see e3 in this position. He wants to get his bishop out. Okay, here comes the knight. And now we don't fear this move, because I think it's just queen e6. There we go, e3, very often. Okay, now I castle. He's going to want to do this, he's going to want to get castled. Because he's played a couple of bishop moves, okay, this is interesting. So now that bishop is actually blocking the d file, the open d file, and blocking the discovery on the queen. Now, I do have options. I could do, for example, this. Attacking the bishop. Knight can't take because the queen falls. So if knight e5, I threaten to take the bishop. I mean, I'd like to get this knight out as well. That's definitely an idea. h5, g5, oops. h5, g5 is an idea, trapping this bishop. It'll have to go here anyway, in which case I can take. But this is really my kind of aha moment. Money shot. So this, I'm also attacking the knight twice. Or should I be getting this knight out? See, my problem is that I've already messed up these 2 squares. Now I do have h6 for the knight. h6 and then to here. I think we hold fire with that knight. I think we can afford to take a bit more time. And the bishop has obliged by moving out of the way. Now, what I'm wanting is for them to castle, and then I want to move this bishop with check. And I can't do that right now because my knight is in the way on that diagonal. So I'm just looking for gainful employment for this knight. I'm wondering about coming back to g6. If the bishop goes there though, I've then got tension between these bishops, but I can just take actually. I can just take with the discovery. So let's try that. And if this bishop takes, I'll take back with the h-pawn, giving myself a little trio of pawns there, but opening up lines on the h-file for my rook. It's alright. Opponent is rated 1201 from the Netherlands. There we go. And that is actually a free piece. Okay, this is a form of double attack, right? Because I'm doing a capture and with a discovery on the queen. Okay. If he just automatically recaptures, then there we go. Oh, so the queen has now traded herself. Okay, so I'm going to take the queen, and they're going to take the bishop. And my queen's also looking at that. It's defended by the knight. Just toying with the idea of capturing with the king, but I think we're okay. So after this, so now I'm +6. They're going to take this bishop, and then it'll be... I could trade off here, but I am now up in material, solidly up in material. And I think now it's time to announce the release of this horse. Unless there's anything amazingly tactical. Everything's kind of defended though. This pawn is not defended. That pawn is not defended. And neither are the rooks technically. So any soft targets here? Not massively. I'm going to bring the knight out. One reason is it's good. These knights are now paired. And then if bishop takes here and h takes, this rook is now defended by my queen. That's my thinking. Bishop retreats. I now have this if I want, but I'm thinking probably again centralizing the knight. This knight could come in there. If I take here, it's just pawn takes. That's the only option. And there's nothing wrong with that. If I go here and knight takes, pawn takes, I've given myself an isolated pawn. I don't see any reason to do that. But now I've got two knights that can come to this square. And forking both the knight and the bishop. So that will force something to happen, I should imagine. So this knight in. Okay, you've got to watch out for this. I don't want to fall into the Charlick trap myself. The question is, could this bishop move with check? And the answer is yes, it can. So that would lose my queen. And that we do not want. So I'm thinking king b8. Just gets out of all of that nonsense. But this doesn't help. You know, I could take the rook, but I'd still be in check. So I'm thinking king b8. Actually, bishop. No, bishop can't go there. It's a block. So I'm gonna play that. We're in a good position. Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. And this bishop now can't do... actually, I was just scanning the board and thinking the bishop can't take anything dramatic with it. So I think probably the answer there is I should have moved the queen. Right, I've now lost my material advantage. Okay, I think that's the only really good square, isn't it? Go here with ideas of coming up to this. I think that looks sensible. Okay, so game on again. That was silly. So I spotted, after long castles, the discovery on the queen. And the first thing I looked for was check with a discovery on the queen, which would have lost the queen. The second thing I didn't look for, okay, he's gone for taking the pawn. Okay, I'm going to trade off the rook. And now, can I trap the bishop? Not sure. Okay, so now we have to take stock. Okay, so we've got 5. I'm a pawn down, actually. So the situation is I have a queen and 2 minors. He has a rook and 3 minors. But the difference is he's got 2 extra pawns. So piecewise, I'm slightly in front. But he has 2 extra pawns, which puts him slightly in front materially. Now, sorry about the dogs. Now we need to think about an attack. We also need to think about our defence as well. So it's not a bad idea to think about putting a pawn on a light square here. See there takes. I get checkmated. So I'm going to create an escape square right now. I feel like that's the most critical thing. You dopey bugger. I should have just moved the queen, shouldn't I? And then he could have moved the bishop with check maybe, but then I just take the bishop, so not an issue. This was the situation. And he simply had that, the capture with a discovery. It's exactly what I did to him. I should have known, because I'm the Charlick player. This brings us up to date. So what I want to do, I don't think I can really hope to trap this bishop in any way. I mean, he's got a good diagonal there, and if he ever gets to here, he's got options. That is a thought to block off that way, but then it's a very convoluted way round. I don't feel like it's a good use of my time and resources. Okay, so he's coming in, he's attacking my queen. I was thinking of this square anyway. That's a very safe square from a knight. He moves, he can't go in there with the rook, so I'm going to do this move. Because then that actually does trap the bishop. Bishop takes, queen takes. Bishop goes here, queen takes. Alright. And I'm hitting the knight. So there's thoughts of maybe bishop e6, try and win this. If he tries to block, I get 3 pawns for the bishop, but completely open up the king. So it's like saying that these 3 pawns are not 1-point pawns. They are slightly more than 1 point. So how are we feeling? Also, this knight is pinned. It's worth mentioning. His second good think, really. He's been playing very quickly so far. These moves are now he's, last 2 moves he's taken over a minute. Okay, this. The rook no longer defends that. I need to, is that a blunder? Has he actually blundered the knight there? The question is, can this bishop move with check? Well, it can't, because I'm on a dark square. So how does that not blunder the knight? Let's have a good think about this, because this could be a turning point. The only way he can win my queen would be to move the bishop with check, I think. And he can't. So I win the knight. Let's say you take here. Is that the idea? I could even take here first and attack the rook. There, you recapture. Then I take the knight. Let's say you take there. I take this pawn. I take the knight now and you capture here. Queen takes a2. threatening this, threatening the bishop. Knight takes, pawn takes is almost a given. If he doesn't take, then I win the knight anyway. So I'm going to take with the bishop first. I think there's just something about that move. So I'm attacking the rook, I'm attacking the knight, I'm attacking this pawn. It's a three-way fork. The knight also can't move with check. The knight is on a light square, my king's on a dark square. Queen takes a2 is a secondary idea. Okay, he's taken here. Now I think I can just take. I'm forking two more pawns. The bishop can't do any damage. So now +2. That was weird. So he took over a minute over that move, minute 19, and blundered a piece. But it happens. That's the move we were expecting. Okay. Now my hunch is to capture on a2. There's no checkmate ideas, so it is a discovery. Now I've got this hitting the rook or this hitting the bishop. I think we hit the bishop. Maybe threaten these ideas. King's forced here. Queen takes on b2. Okay. Now that wins the bishop by force, setting up a fork. Got to be careful with bishops. Now there we go. Okay, so in the end it was tactics. In the end it was tactics. So, sorry, just Danya then. A bit of Danya. Okay. What's this mean? There's something new here. What's this? Something 30 plus 15, right? So rapid, it says 1136 plus 10. And I don't know what that means. Do not know what this means, and there's no tooltip. But anyway, so let's have a look at the game. So this is something I do recommend to everyone. Do your own analysis of the game. Okay, so we're Charlicking. This move, I'm interested to know what the machine thinks, actually. My hunch is that it will say develop, but maybe I'm just being paranoid. Okay, normal developing moves. This is all normal Charlick setup now, with the difference that we've had to deal with a bishop attack. Bishop comes out, I'm trying to annoy the bishop. Annoyment achieved. Annoyance, sorry. Oh, it didn't like that. So we have got the eval bar running here. It didn't like this move. But now it likes our position very much indeed because of that. So after this, there we go, and that was you shouldn't have done that. You didn't need to give up the queen there. Okay. And we're winning. This, and now a key mistake from me. And it shoots back up to evens because of this move. Correct. So what I should have done here is just move the queen somewhere. You know, maybe on a dark square, just get it out of trouble. But that was, blunders happen. This is the point. And I can't stress how important it is to be aware of blunders. I keep getting this same old comment. I've got I'm one on a video called Tips for 400 to 600 players or someone, and someone said the guy you played like a 100, not a 400 fight, whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not. The tighter that you play, the fewer good moves you leave your opponents, making it harder for them to find anything good or solid. And also, you've got to be awake to the blunders. Okay, so here we screwed up. We screwed up. And now white is actually slightly better. There we go, we create an escape square for the king. They come in with this, the computer disapproves. He doesn't move. Retreats the bishop. Also a blunder. Yeah, so this is the thing. It's blocked the rook's defense of the knight. And he did take over a minute over that move. Question is bishop takes knight the best way to start? Yes. So one of the ideas here is, if you look at it, I'm about to go up in material, okay? Right now material's kind of equal. White was +1 material at this point. I'm about to go up in material. Can I force a trade of minor pieces at the same time? So this is the idea. This first, upping the ante a little bit with a three-way fork. Right, so he's got to do something about the attack on the rook. So he takes, which is fine. And now I take, and now we're in a winning position. Bishop captures the pawn, taking here. Still good, still nearly -6. Bishop comes here, and I don't approve of that because this is now a forced sequence, right? King only has one square. And then I spot this fork, queen fork. And that is the end of the game. So I'll have a quick look at the game review. It is giving me one, I think, game review per day, which is fine. Okay, so you can see white slightly better. We're winning. We give it all back, and they give it all back to us. And two great moves from us. It's giving me 1500. If I take the ratings off, it's probably about more like 1750 as it was yesterday. So that's all good, but I think we know what the errors were. So let's just look at this one, because it didn't like this move at all. But I had an idea. So the best move in this position, straight up g5, kick him back. Oh, and that's it. That's the moves. Okay. And here, let's look at this. Absolute blunder. You are losing a knight this way. Yes, we know about that. Best move was, yeah. So you're putting the queen here on a light square, interestingly. Let's go back one move and let's see what the options were here. Okay, so after long castles, queen e8 or g8 or f8. It's just basically put the queen anywhere and you're just winning. So, Muppety episode there. It's had a bit of a brain fart, I'm afraid, but got the job done. And the Charlick strikes again, you know? Charlick ain't bad at all. While we're here, let's have a quick look at my record with the Charlick. So here we are on the analysis board. I'm going to go to my games as black, flip the board, and e5. Okay, so e5 is my most common response now to d4 across my entire... Hang on, my games as black. It's only got a couple of thousand games on there. Is that right? Well, a couple of thousand where I faced d4. I don't know. So, but I have a 50% win rate with the black pieces against 46. Played a few d6s. Is that the perk? But, you know, it's all pretty good. d5. d4, d5, I've got quite a poor response. Also e6 for some reason. Yeah, so I've done all right with knight f6. That's also 50%. And going like black knights tango or whatever you get, Indian defences. But e5 has been all right, because they will normally take, and when they do take, I'm winning 51%. e4 is the second biggest, most popular response. They should actually capture the pawn. I think anything other than d takes e here is equalising for black. And that's the thing. So what are the most common moves? Takes, and I'm winning 51%. E4, D5 is another one. If D5, you just play your bishop out here. But I'm not doing fantastically well with that one, actually, as it happens. I've played F5 a few times, doing all right there. So that might be worth looking into a little bit. And you can do this, you know, use the chess.com Explorer or openingtree.com. So yeah, with D5, I haven't got the best hit rate with that, interestingly. But yeah, it's still scoring absolutely fine. And I know that Craig has been playing. In fact, let's have a quick look at Craig's record as well. I'll go to other record, other players. Craig. There we go. So here as well. So what's Craig's record? Right. So he's played knight f6 a few times quite successfully, and e5 here. Okay, so he's getting 44% with e5, but when they take, which is the most common, it's a bit more equal than that. Yeah, so I know he's been playing the Charlick in Blitz and Bullet. So there we go. I thought that was a load of fun, not without a slip up. And so that's what I'm working on right now. That's what I need to be working on, is just avoiding those things with just a little bit more calculation. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.